Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and the third part of What If Naruto Found a Hidden Uzumaki Bunker as a kid. And last time we left off right at the tailgate of the Chunin exams and just at the start of the big battle between Orochimaru's forces and the Hidden Leaf. And of course Naruto, our boy, went after his own friend Sasuke, who went after Gaara, after he went rogue right as the battle started. It's all a bit much, but let's just get right into the story. Hope you enjoy. Naruto and Sakura continue running, and suddenly they burst into a clearing, and the sight froze them in their tracks. Sasuke was there, but he was on his knees, clutching his neck as black markings of the curse mark spread across his skin like an infection, and looming over him was Gaara. But it wasn't the boy from the exam. Half his body was gone, consumed by monstrous bulging sand that formed a claw and a chaotic yellow eye. The one-tailed Shukaku was waking up. Gaara raised a massive sand claw, ready to crush Sasuke into paste. "Mother wants her blood," the monster shrieked. "Sasuke!" Sakura screamed. Naruto didn't think, he didn't even strategize, he just moved right into the action to protect his friend. He slammed into Sasuke, tackling him out of the way just as the sand claw pulverized the branch they were previously standing on. Pulled across the forest floor, debris raining down on them. Naruto scrambled up, dragging Sasuke with him. "Can you move?" "Shut up," Sasuke grimaced, his skin burning with the curse. "I can fight." "No, you can't," Naruto said bluntly. He looked at the monster in front of him. He didn't have the Rasengan like Jiraiya. He didn't have some special power. He didn't have the Chidori like Sasuke did after training the Kakashi for the month that Naruto was off with Jiraiya. And Naruto was scrambling in Naruto's head that a random standard seal wouldn't hold a tailed beast that's awake and rampaging through a city. He needed a tank, as his master Jiraiya said. Naruto bit his thumb, drawing some blood. He slammed his hand onto the ground. "Summoning Jutsu!" Smoke erupted, but as it cleared, Naruto's heart sank. He hadn't summoned the giant boss toad Gamabunta. He had summoned Gamakichi, a toad the size of a small dog. "Yo," Gamakichi waved. "You got snacks?" Gaara laughed, a screeching, inhuman sound that vibrated in Naruto's bones. "Is this your champion, Uzumaki? Is this your power?" The sand surged forward like a tidal wave. "Okay," Naruto said, grabbing the small toad and shoving it into his pocket. Plan B. He looked at Sasuke. His blue eyes were flashing a tactical desperation that surprised Sasuke. "Sasuke," Naruto said, pulling out a brush and a blank scroll. "I'm gonna need 30 seconds. 30 seconds? Sasuke shouted, dodging a spike of sand. "For what?" "To write a suppression seal," Naruto said, clicking the ink cap off of his brush with his thumb. "I can't overpower him. I have to lock him back up." "You're gonna do calligraphy." Sasuke looked at him like he'd lost his mind. "In the middle of this boss fight?" Naruto smirked. Their sweat was pouring down his face. The ghost of the whirlwind guiding his hand now. "I'm an Uzumaki. It's what we do. Just don't let me die." The forest trembled under the weight of the one-tailed scream. Sasuke moved in a blur, dodging jagged spears of sand that erupted from the earth. But he was running in fumes, his movement sharp but desperate. The curse mark searing lines of fire across his neck. Every second he bought was paid for in blood. Behind him, Naruto knelt in the dirt. The world narrowed down to the tip of his brush. 10 seconds, Sasuke roared, deflecting a sand bullet with a kunai that chattered on impact. He was knocked backward, skidding through the mud, his chakra dangerously low. Naruto then looked up. His hand was a blur of ink and focus. The ghost in the vault stayed silent, letting the boy work. There wasn't time for instruction, it was time for execution. Naruto finished the final stroke, a harsh, angular kanji for stagnation, and slammed the scroll shut. "Die!" Gaara screeched. A massive arm of Shukaku swung down, a tsunami of compressed sand aimed directly at the kneeling Uzumaki. Sasuke screamed Naruto's name, too far away to intervene, but Naruto didn't dodge. He bit the scroll, holding it between his teeth, and slammed his hands together. "Shadow Clone Jutsu!" 4 more Narutos burst into existence. They didn't attack the monster though, they formed a human ladder. The real Naruto sprinted up their backs, launching himself into the air just as the sand crushed his clones into dust. Stirred over the sweeping arm, staring directly into the manic, yellow eye of the beast. He grabbed the scroll from his mouth and unrolled it midair, chakra coating his hand. Uzumaki style, sand-biting seal. Naruto didn't even aim for Gaara's body, he aimed for the connection, the point where the sand monster fused with the boy. He slapped the paper onto the massive shoulder of Shukaku. Hiss. Thing glowed a violent blue. The seal activated, sending a shockwave of disruption chakra through the sand. It wasn't strong enough to suppress the tailed beast forever, but it did exactly what Naruto wanted. It jammed the signal. The massive sand arm froze, twitching, the chakra connection shuttered, and the sand started falling to the floor. Gaara's human eye widened in confusion as his absolute defense faltered. This was the opening Naruto needed. He dropped from the air, channeling every ounce of his remaining red chakra into his forehead. Crack! The headbutt sounded like a gunshot. Naruto's forehead collided with Gaara's, shattering the sand armor and sending a shockwave through the Jinchuriki's skull. The monster screamed, dissolving into piles of harmless dirt as Gaara was knocked out cold. His hold on the transformation broke completely. Both boys fell to the forest floor. Silence rushed back into the clearing, heavy and sudden. Sasuke stared, his chest heaving, the curse mark receding as the adrenaline crashed. He looked at the unconscious Gaara, then at Naruto, who was wiping ink and blood off his face. The dead last hadn't just survived, he had dismantled a nightmare with a paintbrush. He had defeated the tailed beast, Sasuke couldn't. How is he ever last in the academy? It's ridiculous. It feels like he's getting stronger by the week, or even by the day. But there wasn't time for celebration or confusion. The invasion ended as abruptly as it began. The death of the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, rang out across the village like a funeral bell. Until, well, the actual funeral. The sound of rain replaced the sound of battle. Naruto stood at the funeral 2 days later, dressed in black. He didn't cry, but he looked at the Hokage's portrait, touched the seal on his stomach. He understood now. The old man had sacrificed himself to steal away Orochimaru's arms, crippling the enemy leader. It was the ultimate act of Fuinjutsu. He learned that after the battle, but it made him so proud that he ever considered Hiruzen a grandpa. He was a true shinobi, and a master of sealing techniques. We don't have time to mourn, kid. Naruto turned. Jiraiya stood behind him, looking unusually grim. The Sannin didn't offer a joke or a perverted comment as he might have usually. He placed a heavy hand on Naruto's shoulder. The power vacuum Hiruzen left behind, it's gonna attract sharks. We're leaving the village for now. Leaving? Naruto frowned. I have to rebuild. You have to stay alive. Jiraiya cut him off, his voice low. There's an organization moving in the shadows. They're hunting Jinchuriki, like you. And now the third Hokage is gone, they will come after you too. They packed light and left the village within the hour. The road was long and Jiraiya wasted no time. Your calligraphy is bad, Jiraiya said as they walked, kicking a stone down the dirt path. But that suppression seal you used on Gaara was sloppy. Takes too long. In a real high-speed fight, you're dead before you unscrew the ink cap. And next time you might not have your buddy to help you out. I made it work, Naruto muttered. You got lucky. You need a finisher, something instant, something that doesn't require paper. Jiraiya held out his arms, chakra swirling in his palm, condensing, spinning, grinding until it formed a perfect, stable sphere of blue energy. The Rasengan, Jiraiya said, a jutsu created by the fourth Hokage. It doesn't require hand signs, no ink, just pure shape manipulation. It only requires chakra and concentration. Naruto stared at the spinning ball. He could feel the power radiating from it. But Jiraiya closed his hand, extinguishing the technique. You're an Uzumaki. You have too much chakra. Controlling into a sphere is going to be like trying to herd cats. Trust me, I tried before. I'll learn it, Naruto said, determination burning in his eyes. Teach me. We'll see, Jiraiya muttered. But first, we have a pit stop. A town called Shikuba. I have information to gather. I told you about that book I'm writing, right? Naruto rolled his eyes, knowing exactly what kind of information Jiraiya meant. But the Sannin's relaxed demeanor wasn't masked. Jiraiya knew something Naruto didn't. He knew they were being tracked. Two figures in black robes with red clouds were already inside the borders of the land of fire. Kisame Hoshigaki grinned, hoisting his massive sword, Samehada, onto his shoulder. So this is the leaf. Seems quiet. Beside him, Itachi Uchiha looked forward to the horizon with cold, Sharingan eyes. Don't get careless. We're here for the fourth legacy. We grab the Nine-Tails and we leave. The collision course was set. Naruto sat in a hotel room that night, struggling with a water ball Jiraiya had given him as training. The first step of the Rasengan, he said. He tried to spin the water, but his chakra was too volatile. It burst the balloon, messily soaking the floor. Damn it! Naruto hissed. Focus, boy, the voice from the vault whispered, rare and abrupt. Rotation, power, containment. It's just the same as a seal, but made of motion. Naruto paused. A seal made of motion? Before he could test that theory, a knock came at the door. Jiraiya-sensei? Naruto asked, standing up. Did you forget your key again? He opened the door. It wasn't Jiraiya. Standing in the hallway, there were two men, black cloaks. The air in the hallway instantly became heavy, thick with the terror that made the killing intent and the force of death feel like a joke. Itachi Uchiha looked down at his brother's teammate. Naruto Uzumaki, come with us. The hallway of the hotel in Shigupa town wasn't large, but in that moment it felt the entire world had shrunk down to the space between Naruto Uzumaki and the two shady men standing in the doorway. The man with the shark-like face, Kisame Hoshigaki, grinned, revealing rows of serrated teeth. But it was the other one, Itachi Uchiha, who commanded the silence. His eyes were a crimson red, spinning slowly with the pattern of the Sharingan. Naruto had seen it in Sasuke. Naruto felt the air grow heavy, a crushing weight that made his lungs burn. This wasn't the killing of 10 of Zabuza or even Orochimaru. This was colder. It was indifference, like a god looking at an insect. "Come with us," Itachi repeated, his voice devoid of emotion. "We will not ask again." Naruto's hand twitched toward his pouch. The ghost in the vault, Iruta, didn't scream a warning this time. He went dead silent, which maybe was worse. This was all to hide his presence from the Sharingan. Naruto was in his zone. He grabbed a flash tag, intending to blind them and run through the window. But before his fingers could even brush the paper, Kasami moved. The massive sword wrapped in bandages didn't slow him down. Samehada. It swung through the air with a terrifying speed. It didn't cut Naruto, it slammed in his shoulder, shaving a layer of chakra instantly. Naruto gasped, his knees buckling as his strength was literally eaten by the weapon. "Fast," Kisame chuckled, resting the sword on his shoulder. "But your chakra tastes spicy. Strange." "Get away from him!" The shout came from down the hall. Sasuke Uchiha stood there, panting, eyes wide with a mixture of hatred and terror. He tracked them. He charged, the chirping sound of the Chidori screaming in his hand, lightning dancing off the walls. "Itachi!" Sasuke roared, lunging at his brother. Itachi didn't even draw a weapon. He simply caught Sasuke's wrist. He broke with a sickening snap, then kicked his younger brother into a wall with enough force to crack the plaster. The fight, if you could call it that, lasted seconds. Itachi leaned in, whispering words that broke Sasuke's mind, subjecting him to its Tsukuyomi, a powerful genjutsu. Sasuke collapsed, screaming silently, his eyes rolling back. Naruto, still pinned by Kisame's sword, felt a surge of helpless rage. He tried to call him the nine-tailed fox, but Samehada purred and ate the red chakra before he could even manifest in Naruto's body. Just as Kisame raised his sword to cut off Naruto's legs to keep him from running completely, the hallway turned into the stomach of a toad. Fleshy, red walls erupted from the floor and ceiling, binding Kisame's sword. Jiraiya stood at the end of the hall, looking furious. He wasn't a pervy sage right now. Now he was really one of the legendary Sannin. "You have a lot of nerve," Jiraiya growled. "Hunting in my territory." Itachi assessed the situation instantly. "Kasame, we're leaving." "But we cannot fight him here," Itachi said. Black flames, Amaterasu, erupted from his eyes, burning through the toad's stomach that was supposed to be fireproof. The two Akatsuki members vanished through the hole, leaving a stunned Naruto and a broken Sasuke in their wake. The encounter changed everything. Sasuke was sent back to Konoha with Guy, broken and comatose. Naruto and Jiraiya continued, but the mood was somber. Naruto realized that his tricks, his seals, and his basic tactics meant nothing against power of that magnitude. Against these Akatsuki, who were already out for him, he needed a finisher that Jiraiya was talking about. He needed real power. Eventually, they found Tsunade, the slug princess, in a gambling town, losing money as usual. But their reunion wasn't happy. Tsunade was bitter, drinking away the pain of the past, mocking the title of Hokage as a fool's dream. Naruto only then understood that their mission was to get her to become the new Hokage? How would that even make sense? Why not you, Jiraiya, or Kakashi? You're all powerful. Why her? She's not even part of the leaf. "Hold your tongue," Jiraiya said. It wasn't Naruto's place to question this decision. When she insulted the third sacrifice though, Naruto snapped. He challenged one of the legendary Sannin to a fight right there and then in the street. It was about as well as you'd expect, though Tsunade was a bit impressed that Naruto was a bit stronger than she expected. Though still, one blow was more than enough, flicking his forehead hard enough to send him flying. But when Naruto tried to use the incomplete Rasengan, the spinning water ball he'd struggled with, she paused. She saw the ghost of her grandfather, the first Hokage, and her little brother in the boy's eyes. And so she made a bet. 1 week. If Naruto could master the Rasengan, she would acknowledge him and give him her necklace, a priceless heirloom. If he failed, she kept his money and his dignity. The week that followed was again torture, as was almost every week with Jiraiya. Naruto stood in a clearing, his hands bleeding. He'd popped the water balloon, check. He'd popped the rubber ball, check. But the third step, containing the spin chakra in a thin sphere without it exploding, it felt impossible. His Uzumaki chakra was too dense, too volatile. Every time he tried to contain it, it spiraled out of control. Damn it! Naruto yelled, punching a tree. It's too wild, I can't do it. He sat down, exhausted, staring at the moon. He closed his eyes, drifting into the bunker in his mind. The ghost, Iruta, was sitting by the unrolled scrolls, looking thoughtful. You're trying to mold it like a sculptor, Iruta's voice echoed, quiet and statically. But you're not a sculptor, Naruto. You're a jailer. What does that mean? Naruto asked. A seal works because the ink creates a barrier that forces the chakra to obey, Iruta explained. You're trying to do two things at once, spin the chakra and hold the shell. Your mind is split, it cannot be both, so delegate. Naruto's eyes snapped open. Delegate? His seal has two parts, the energy and the container. If he couldn't form the container while spinning the energy, he needed another pair of hands to be the container. As the week ended, the deadline arrived, and so did Orochimaru. The Sun Showdown began on a grassy plain outside the town. It was chaos. Jiraiya was drugged and unable to mold chakra properly. Tsunade was paralyzed by a fear of blood, which feels a bit ironic. It fell to Shizune and Naruto to hold the line against Kabuto, Orochimaru's lieutenant, and a weak Jiraiya against Orochimaru himself. Kabuto was dangerous. He was a medical ninja with a scalpel hand that could sever muscles with a touch. He dismantled Naruto methodically, cutting his thigh muscle, leaving him unable to stand. You're just a genin, Kabuto sneered, adjusting his glasses. Stay down, kid. You're out of your league. Though Naruto was actually holding on better. He was using everything he had. His amounts of chakra was incredible. And some of his pre-made seals were actually holding back Kabuto. A lot of smoke, some explosions. But still, at the end, Naruto lay in the dirt, gasping. He couldn't feel his leg anymore. He looked over at Tsunade, who was trembling as Orochimaru approached her with a sword. No! Naruto gritted out. He stabbed a kunai into the ground and used it to lever himself up. I made a bet. Kabuto rushed in to finish him. Naruto didn't dodge that. He took a kunai to the hand, trapping Kabuto's weapon. With his other hand, he grabbed Kabuto's wrist. Gotcha, Naruto whispered. A shadow clone popped into existence beside him. Kabuto's eyes widened. A clone? Now? You're out of chakra. Little did he know, Naruto had almost unlimited amounts of chakra. The clone didn't attack though. It put its hand over Naruto's right hand. Naruto spun the chakra, wild, red, Uzumaki style. The clone's hand acted as a seal, the container, compressing the rotation into a perfect, terrifying sphere. Rasengan! Naruto slammed the sphere into Kabuto's stomach, and it sent him flying. It wasn't a hit, it was a grinder. The rotational force twisted Kabuto's muscle, sending him spinning backward through the air to crash into a boulder, shattering on impact. Naruto also fell back though, exhausted. The clone vanished. Orochimaru stopped staring at the boy. That jutsu, he modified it? The Uzumaki creativity is annoying. With that, Orochimaru lunged at him, his neck stretching like a snake, his sword extending to pierce Naruto's heart. You will die now, boy. But the sword stopped. Tsunade stood over Naruto now. Her hand gripped Orochimaru's blade, blood dripping from her palm. Her fear was gone. She was the legendary Sonic, and she was done running. I won't let you touch him, Tsunade growled, snapping the sword with her bare hand. He is the future Hokage. He promised. She kicked Orochimaru away with the earth-shattering force. Then she bit her thumb. Jiraiya, shaking off the drug, also did the same. Orochimaru grimaced and followed suit. 3 hands slammed onto the earth at the same time. Summoning Jutsu! Smoke covered the plain, rising like a mountain range. When it cleared, the 3-way deadlock had returned. Gamabunta, the toad boss, Manda, the giant snake, and Katsuyu, the slug, stood towering over the forest. 3 giants, in terms of size and power. Naruto lay on Gamabunta's head, barely conscious, watching as the titans clashed. He smiled weakly, clutching the necklace Tsunade had placed around his neck while he was passed out. He had won the bet. He had found his finisher, and the ghost in the vault settled back into the silence, satisfied. The boy was truly becoming the weapon he wanted, one stroke at a time. The rest pretty much happened as in canon, and after all was said and done, Tsunade Senju returned to the Leaf Village, not to gamble, but as the Gudaime Hokage. She healed the wounded, including Rock Lee and Sasuke Uchiha, who hurt themselves protecting the village before she arrived. The village began to rebuild, breathing a sigh of relief with the new Hokage at the helm. But peace is often just the quiet before the next storm. While Naruto celebrated his new strength and the necklace hanging around his neck, Sasuke Uchiha sat in a hospital bed, staring at his hands. He remembered Itachi's eyes, he remembered the feeling of helplessness, and most of all, he remembered Naruto. the dead last in the academy, but he was able to defeat Gaara, while Sasuke wasn't. The apples lay scattered on the floor. "Fight me," Sasuke said. His voice was cold, vibrating with an instability that made the air in the hospital room feel jagged. "Sasuke, you just woke up," Naruto said, standing by the door. "We don't have to." "Shut up," Sasuke roared. The curse mark on his neck flared again, black tendrils creeping up his cheek. "Do you think you're better than me? 'Cause you learned some fancy new trick? Because the Sannin pities you?" Naruto went silent. Iruta in the back of his mind said, "He's brittle, this one. Like iron cast with too many impurities. If you strike him, he will shatter." "Fine," Naruto said softly. They moved to the roof. The wind was high. There was no referee, no proctor, just two teammates who'd grown too far apart. Naruto thought they were friends, but maybe this is what he has to do to protect his friend. Protect him from doing something really, really stupid that he would regret. Sasuke charged, his movement sharp, lethal. He wasn't sparring, he was trying to actually hurt Naruto, but he dodged. Using the fluid, grounded movement Iruta drilled into him, he parried a punch and then deflected a kick, but he didn't counterattack. "Stop holding back," Sasuke schemed. "Put on that headband." Naruto looked at the leaf symbol. He tied it on. "If you want to fight Sasuke, I'll give you one." Sasuke leapt into the air. The screech of 1,000 birds filled the afternoon. "Chidori!" Naruto crouched. He didn't need a clone this time. The adrenaline was doing the work for him, spinning the chakra in his palm. Rasengan. They lunged, lightning versus wind. The clash would have killed them both, but a blur of silver intervened. Kakashi Hatake grabbed both the wrists, flinging them into the water towers nearby. Crash! Sasuke's Chidori pierced the metal tank, leaving a massive, jagged hole. He smirked, pulling his hand out. The power was undeniable. Then he looked at Naruto's tank. The front had a decent-sized dent. Not too small, almost as big as a person. But after a while, Sasuke looked at the back of Naruto's water tower. It was completely gone. Not like in canon where, there was a small hole at the start, and then at the end, there was a bigger one. I'm talking the second half of the water tower literally disappeared. It was gone. There was so much chakra in that attack, if he'd actually gotten it off, it might have even been able to destroy a building. Naruto is noticeably more powerful in this version than in the other one, even though that's not the goal of this. What if, with him being, a bit smarter and having actual training, of course he would get a lot stronger, especially if he's able to coexist with Kurama much earlier on. And this is the effect of all that training. Sasuke stared. The inferiority complex that had been festering since the Land of Waves finally snapped. Naruto didn't just catch up. In raw power, he left him far behind. Naruto was leagues above him. As the night came, the wolves howled. 4 ninja from the Sound Village found Sasuke on a bridge. They didn't just beat him, they humiliated him. They showed him that the curse mark was just a taste of the power Orochimaru could offer. "Stay here and play ninja with your friends," Sasuke sneered. "Or come with us and kill your brother, and fulfill your vast potential as an Uchiha." It wasn't a hard choice for a boy drowning in trauma. The next morning, the alarm sounded. Sasuke Uchiha had defected. Tsunade didn't have the manpower to send any Jonin, or really even Chunin. They were all on patrol. She called for Shikamaru Naru, the newly promoted Chunin. "You have 30 minutes," Tsunade ordered. "Assemble a team and bring them back." Shikamaru picked his pieces carefully. Choji for strength, Kiba for tracking, Neji for vision, and Naruto for wildcard factor, and for some extra power. And of course, because they were good friends, and he knew that Naruto cared deeply about Sasuke too. "We move fast." Shikamaru briefed them at the gate. "Formation, this is the line. You're the rear guard. If they double back, you hold them." Naruto tightened his headband. "I'm bringing him back, even if I have to break his arms and legs to carry him back myself." The chase was all a blur of motion. The sound forward was strong, but they were carrying a barrel containing a whole person, which slowed them down. But they were ready for pursuers. First came Jirobu. A massive earth-style user trapped them in a dome of earth that drained their chakra. But it wasn't as bad as Kisame, so Naruto didn't panic much. Iruta guided him to find the weak point in the chakra flow of the dome. Choji smashed it open. Choji stayed behind to fight, for the rest to catch up further to Sasuke. Next, Kidomaru, the spider ninja. His webs were sticky, unbreakable. But Neji stayed back. "Go," the Hyuga ordered, activating the Byakugan. "I'm the only one who can see his threads. Naruto, you must reach Sasuke." You've shown you're able to shatter fate, so bring him back with your power. Then Sakon and Ukon, the two-headed horror, Kiba and Akamaru lunged into the ravine with them, dragging the enemy away from the path. It was a dismantling of the team, piece by piece. Finally, it was Shikamaru and Naruto chasing Taiyuya and the new rival, Kimimaro. Kimimaro was different. He was sick, dying, but his power was terrifying. He pulled a bone out from his shoulder to use as a sword. Naruto tried to rush him. Multi-shadow clone jutsu! Hundreds of Naruto swarmed the field. Kimimaro danced through them, his bone blade cutting through the clones like they were made of paper. It was a massacre. Go, Naruto! Rock Leaf arrived in a blur, kicking Kimimaro back. I will handle this. You must save your friend. That was all he needed. Naruto didn't even look back. He sprinted past the fight, his lungs burning, his legs screaming. He ran until the tree gave way to a massive clearing, the Valley of the End. Two giant statues faced each other across a waterfall, Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha. He recognized these legends. Standing on top of Madara's head, looking down at the rushing water, was Sasuke Uchiha, his friend. Sasuke! Naruto screamed across. Sound echoed off the stone walls. Sasuke turned slowly. His skin was pale, the curse mark dormant but pulsing. He looked calm, terrifyingly calm. You're loud, Naruto, Sasuke said. Did you really think I'd come back just because you asked? I'm not asking anymore, Naruto said. He stepped onto the water, walking towards the waterfall base. Nade sent us on a mission to retrieve you. Everyone's fighting right now. Choji, Neji, Kiba, Rock Lee. They're risking their lives. For you. I didn't ask them to, Sasuke replied. I'm going to Orochimaru. It's the only way to get this power, so I can revenge my family and kill my brother. Orochimaru wants your body, you idiot. Do you not remember him attacking us? He's going to kill you. I don't care. Sasuke smiled, but it didn't even reach his eyes. If I have to give my body to the devil to avenge my clan, then so be it. Sasuke dropped from the statue. He landed on the water opposite Naruto. You don't have parents, Naruto. You don't have siblings. His Sharingan activated. Two Tomoe spinning. You don't know what it feels to lose everything. No one in the village likes you. They hate you, and yet you fight for them. You're a ghost. Naruto froze. A ghost. In the vault, Iruta stood up. The spectral warrior picked up his helmet. He is right, Iruta said, his voice hard. You do not know his pain, but you know loneliness. And you know that letting a brother walk into the dark is a coward's way out. Naruto clenched his fists. Red chakra began to leak from his seal, mixing with the blue. I might not know your pain, Naruto whispered, but I know what it's like to be alone. And I'm not gonna let you be alone, even if you want to be. Sasuke laughed, and he charged. The water exploded beneath their feet. They met into the center of the river, a clash of taijutsu that was faster, harder, and more brutal than the hospital roof. Sasuke was technical perfection. He was aiming for vitals, throat, eyes, heart. Naruto was a brawler. He used his chakra and immense strength. He used his clones as shield, as steps, as distractions. He took hits to give hits, everything he could. Sasuke kicked Naruto into the cliff face. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Naruto rolled, slapping seal onto the rock face. Earth style, Mud Wall, a technique Iruta forced him to copy from a scroll, though Naruto only learned how to do it with a seal. Fire harmlessly impacted the mud. Seals again? Sasuke sneered. Stop using tricks and fight me. I am fighting you, Naruto roared. He lunged, a shadow clone throwing him forward. He punched Sasuke in the face. Sasuke punched him in the gut. They traded blows, blood flying into the water. But Sasuke was stronger. The curse mark spread. Level 1. Flame-like patterns covered his skin. His speed doubled. He slammed Naruto into the water, holding him under. Naruto gasped, swallowing water. He was drowning. Kid, Kurama's voice rumbled. He's gonna kill you. Stop playing nice. I can't kill him, Naruto thought, desperate. I have to break his limbs or something. Get him unconscious. I have to drag him back. Then take more of my chakra. Take the one-tailed cloak. Naruto exploded out of the water, a shroud of bubbles. Red chakra in the shape of a fox surrounded him. One tail materialized, swaying behind him. His eyes were no longer blue. They were vertical, slit, orange, burning almost red. The whisker mark on his cheeks deepened. Sasuke jumped back, stunned by the mouse. That chakra again. Sasuke, Naruto roared, his voice layered with a demon's growl. I will break every bone in your body if that's what it takes. Sasuke glared. The curse mark spread further. His skin started turning gray. His hair grew long. Hand wings sprouted from his back. Curse mark level 2. They stood in the water, two monsters in the skin of bones. The air crackled with static. The water around Naruto boiled. The air around Sasuke turned cold and purple. This was it. The final exchange. But that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions of what I should change in this series, or add in the next part I guess, or if you have any suggestions for other videos or other series you want me to try, or just anything else you want to comment down, make sure to comment down below for me to read. I read all of my comments, so it's always nice. And like and subscribe for more. See ya!